I have to laugh. This is my third attempt at this video. The second attempt was interrupted by my dad bringing me some turnips, and I love turnips. But what I wanted to do was sit here and actually use the camcorder on my laptop, simply because when I'm making the how-to videos, I have to worry about camera angles, and in fact, when I made the cornbread, the molasses cornbread one, the camera angle, and I turned the screen, but that made what I was looking at upside down. So I was kind of like, oh, here's this. Oh, wait, here it is. It's much more technical than I had anticipated, and I'm still working on that. And in fact, I'm going to be getting an island that I can hopefully do food prep on and not have to change the camera so much. But everything from lighting, for instance, right now you can kind of see how bright my kitchen is. I've had to put cardboard up to block out sunlight. It's much more technical than I anticipated. But that means I'm thinking about that. But the reason why I choose the food that I'm making is much more spiritual than what probably comes across. And for instance, anything with rice, wheat, corn, all of those things, those are prosperity and abundance symbols. Every culture around the world utilizes one of those three things as that. Anything with beans, many people don't stop and think about the fact that Jack and the Beanstalk is a prosperity fairy tale. The magic beans are planted in the middle of a drought and a famine, and because of their planting, prosperity returns to the land after, of course, some trials by Jack. And anyway, so that's something that the reason why I made the wild rice soup earlier today was simply because that rice, of course, in Chinese and Japanese and Asian cultures, that rice is a fertility symbol, and fertility and prosperity and abundance tend to go hand in hand. I'm not here to tell you what to do and how to believe. I'm here to give you options and just basically my perspective on things. Right now, this is my Sunday. It happens to be a Friday, but I go back to work about 4:30 in the morning. So I've got my next cooking video on the stove, and I'm making mead, which is well, in Germanic and Norse tradition, it's called the Nectar of the Gods. It's a honey-based fermented drink, and I'm making it now, so it'll be ready in time for Yule. And so I want to talk a little bit about Yule, because Yule is my big holiday. I love everything about it. The cold nights and the frosty wind, and I love the lights and the trees. This year, because I have an oversized puppy, I'm not going to be getting the fresh evergreens in my house, but I've already stopped by and talked to Tanya, who owns the flower shop downtown, about what I want on my porch. I went buying decorations yesterday, which was a lot of fun. In fact, I went to the dollar store and they had these candy canes, and I'd seen them the day before, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to buy those and put them in my yard. And so I had them stuck in my backpack. I walk everywhere, by the way. I decided not to worry about paying car insurance and all that type of stuff. So I walk everywhere. It's 15 minutes and I'm across town. So anyway, I had these candy canes sticking out of my backpack, and I bought some wrapping paper that I thought was really cool, and it was all tied up, and I had it slung up on my arm, and I looked like Rambo or some like I was toting around a machine gun. And I walked into the flower shop, and the owner was like, "Well, look at you with your Christmas spirit and candy canes coming out of your ass." And I was like, "No, I'm being grumpy." But nobody ever believes that of me. Anyway, so for Yule, I have had about 3 years practice of making a Yule table. And I make food. In the first year, I didn't tell anyone about it, but I thought somebody shows up, they can partake of it. And then last year, I invited a couple of people. This year, I'm actually sending out invitations, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll be making a Yule log, and that's a multi-step process. I'm hoping to get a friend of mine that has called me Uncle David since her very first words to come and run the camera for some of that, because that way I don't have to worry about that technical aspect, and I can worry about making the Yule log. It's multi-step, but it's easy to make. I'm making the mead as well, and I just kind of put out a spread, and various flavors and sweet and savory things, and I do that because it harkens back to the tradition that around Yule that it's a community affair, and that means you share your wealth. And for me, if I give someone food, it's usually homemade, and it is an extension of who I am. So I really, this is a part of me really giving of myself. The other aspect about it is that I love, like I said, the lights and all that stuff. I just get into it so much. It's my new year. I thought, was it 2 years ago when the lunar eclipse happened? Oh, that was so amazing. I made my Yule log that night, and I kept going outside, and I've got pictures of the moon as it was being eaten by the wolf. I just love it. And anyway, so I really am hoping to. I will probably be cutting back on the how-to videos, because I feel like I have to get them out there, and everything I do, I'm like, ooh, I should make a video of that, but it makes it. I'm someone who when I cook, I have like 5 different things going on at the same time. But when I make these videos, I can only focus on the one thing. And so it's very strange for me to have to do that. But I'm also enjoying it. I just love this. And thank you for those of you who have, my friends that have been watching them. And now I don't want to just ramble, but I'm still kind of new to this, so I'm hoping by January to have a webpage where I can do some blogs, and which will allow me to express things for the cooking videos. That way, without having to stop and sit down and try and figure out how to run this and record what I'm saying. But right now, I've got to go make that mead, And I hope you enjoy that video as well. It's not as complicated as you would think. So, I'll see you then.